It's 2 a.m. Your deadline looms, casting long shadows across your desk. Your body, bless it, screams for sleep, for the restorative embrace of your bed. But before you reach for that fifth cup of harsh coffee, or a sugary snack that promises a quick fix but delivers a crash, I urge you to stop. As a sleep scientist, I've dedicated 15 years to studying the intricate dance of our circadian rhythms, and I can assure you, there's a much smarter, healthier way to navigate these nocturnal challenges. We often think of willpower as the key, but biology plays a far more significant role than we credit.
And as a therapist specializing in shift work disorders, I've witnessed firsthand the cumulative damage that reliance on harsh stimulants can inflict. We're talking about heightened anxiety, persistent gut issues, and the cruel irony of long-term sleep disruption. The very thing you're trying to fight becomes your constant unwelcome companion.
Tonight, however, we're going to bridge the gap between cutting-edge science and practical, compassionate therapy. Our mission is to show you precisely how to fuel your night, to maintain that crucial alertness, all without sabotaging your precious health. Welcome to the Midnight Fuel Guide, your companion for those demanding nocturnal hours. First, it's vital to understand your primary opponent, your own circadian biology. As numerous studies, many of which I've reviewed and even participated in, have conclusively shown, your master clock, nestled in the suprachiasmatic nucleus or SCN of your brain, is hardwired to expect sleep at night. It's a powerful, ancient rhythm. As darkness falls, your core body temperature naturally begins to drop, the sleep hormone melatonin surges through your system, and key wake-promoting neurotransmitters, like orexin, take a deliberate dip. Attempting to fight this intricate biological process with brute force is not only inefficient but also detrimental. Instead, strategic nutrition is the key to working with your body, even when asking it to perform outside its preferred schedule. The goal isn't to trick your body endlessly, but to gently support alertness while minimizing harm to your system.
We'll be prioritizing foods that achieve several key objectives. They sustain energy release, avoiding sharp peaks and troughs. They support the production of essential neurotransmitters for focus. They protect your gut health, which is often compromised by stress and odd hours. They hydrate you effectively and crucially, they respect your future sleep needs, making it easier to get back on track.
When we think of staying awake, coffee is often the first port of call. And while caffeine certainly has its place, the type, timing, and quantity are absolutely crucial, especially in the dead of night. The problem with large, infrequent doses of caffeine, particularly from strong coffee, is the notorious jitters and crash cycle. It's a roller coaster you don't want to be on when sustained focus is paramount. Instead, we're looking for a gentler, more sustained lift.
This is where the science of low-dose caffeine, often paired with other beneficial compounds, truly shines. It's about a subtle nudge, not a forceful shove, to your alertness systems. Enter matcha and green tea. These beverages contain caffeine, yes, but typically in lower amounts per serving compared to a robust coffee. More importantly, they are rich in an amino acid called L-theanine. Fascinating research shows that L-theanine can promote relaxation without drowsiness, and when combined with caffeine, it seems to smooth out the caffeine's stimulating effects. This synergy can lead to improved focus and attention, but without the anxiety or subsequent energy slump often associated with coffee. Think of it as focused calm, a state far more conducive to productive late-night work than a caffeine-induced frenzy. The preparation ritual of matcha itself can also be quite mindful, a brief pause before you re-engage. Another excellent and perhaps more surprising ally in our quest for gentle stimulation is high cocoa dark chocolate. We're talking 70% cocoa solids or higher. Dark chocolate contains a modest amount of caffeine, but also other stimulants like theobromine, which offers a milder, more sustained lift than caffeine. Furthermore, it's packed with flavonoids, which research suggests can improve blood flow to the brain, potentially enhancing cognitive function. The key here is moderation. A few squares are sufficient. It's not an excuse to devour an entire bar, which would introduce too much sugar and fat, potentially leading to digestive discomfort. My advice for incorporating these gentle stimulants is twofold. Firstly, sip, don't gulp. Whether it's your matcha, green tea, or even a very weak black tea, Consuming it slowly allows for a more gradual absorption of caffeine, leading to a more stable level of alertness. This avoids overwhelming your system. Secondly, if you're opting for dark chocolate, consider pairing it with a small handful of nuts, like almonds or walnuts. The protein and healthy fats in the nuts will slow down the absorption of any sugar in the chocolate and provide even more sustained energy, making it a more complete and balanced pick-me-up. This strategic approach to stimulants means you're less likely to experience the dramatic energy peaks and troughs that can derail your concentration and mood. It's about fostering a steady state of alertness that can see you through your task without leaving you feeling frazzled or setting you up for a difficult recovery when it's finally time to sleep. Remember, we're aiming for gentle support, not a shock to the system, especially when your body is naturally winding down. This consideration for your body's natural state is paramount for long-term well-being, even during occasional all-nighters.
When you're burning the midnight oil, the temptation to reach for sugary snacks for a quick energy boost is incredibly strong. Biscuits, sweets, fizzy drinks, they promise instant energy, and for a fleeting moment, they deliver. But this is followed, almost inevitably, by a rapid blood sugar crash, leaving you feeling more tired, irritable, and unfocused than before. This is precisely what we want to avoid.
The secret to sustained energy, particularly during the night when your digestive system is naturally slowing down, lies in choosing carbohydrates with a low glycemic index or low GI. These are our slow-release energy champions. Low GI carbohydrates are broken down and absorbed much more slowly by your body. This means they provide a steady, gradual release of glucose into your bloodstream rather than a sudden, disruptive spike. Think of it like a log fire providing consistent warmth for hours, compared to a piece of paper that flares up brightly but burns out in seconds. This sustained energy supply is crucial for maintaining both physical stamina and, importantly, mental acuity over extended periods. Foods like oatmeal, barley, sweet potatoes, and even soaked chia seeds fall beautifully into this category, offering complex carbohydrates that your body can draw upon for a prolonged period.
Let's consider oatmeal, for instance. A small bowl of porridge, perhaps made with water or a little milk, can be an excellent late-night fuel. It's easy to digest, comforting, and its soluble fiber, beta-glucan, not only helps to slow glucose absorption, but can also contribute to feelings of fullness, preventing distracting hunger pangs. Similarly, a small baked sweet potato, eaten plain or with a tiny sprinkle of cinnamon, offers complex carbs and a wealth of nutrients. Even a tablespoon of chia seeds soaked in water or a little plant-based milk until they form a gel can provide a fantastic combination of fiber, omega-3s, and slow-release energy. These options are far superior to refined grains or sugary cereals. The key, however, is portion control and timing. During the night, your digestive system isn't operating at peak efficiency. Large, heavy meals will divert significant energy to digestion, potentially making you feel sluggish and uncomfortable, rather than energized. Therefore, opt for small, easily digestible portions of these low GI foods. Think of them as mini-meals or substantial snacks rather than full-blown dinners.
Timing is also important. Try to consume them an hour or so before you anticipate needing that sustained energy boost, rather than immediately before trying to focus, allowing your body time to begin the digestion and absorption process.
By strategically incorporating these slow-release energy champions into your late-night fueling plan, you provide your brain and body with the consistent energy they need to perform, without the disruptive highs and lows of high GI sugary alternatives. This approach not only supports your immediate need for alertness, but also aligns better with your body's nocturnal state, minimizing digestive stress and making it easier to eventually transition to sleep when your work is done. It's about working smarter with your body's energy systems, not harder against them. While carbohydrates provide the primary fuel for energy, protein plays an absolutely critical, though often overlooked role in maintaining alertness and cognitive function, especially during demanding periods like late-night work. Proteins are made up of amino acids, and some of these amino acids are precursors to key neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers in your brain that regulate mood, focus, and wakefulness.
One such amino acid is tyrosine, which is a building block for dopamine and norepinephrine. neurotransmitters vital for motivation, attention, and keeping you switched on. Therefore, including good quality protein sources in your midnight fuel strategy is essential for supporting the very brain chemistry that underpins alertness.
Think of foods like eggs. A hard-boiled egg is a wonderfully convenient and complete protein source. Edamame or young soybeans, whether steamed or roasted, offer plant-based protein and fiber. Nuts like almonds and walnuts are not only sources of protein, but also provide healthy fats and other micronutrients beneficial for brain health. Even seeds, such as pumpkin seeds, are packed with protein, magnesium, which can sometimes be depleted by stress, and zinc.
The beauty of these protein sources is that they also contribute to satiety, helping you feel fuller for longer. This can be incredibly useful in preventing distracting hunger pangs that can pull your focus away from the task at hand. A rumbling stomach is hardly conducive to deep concentration.
By incorporating protein, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're directly supporting the raw materials your brain needs to stay sharp and engaged. It's a more holistic approach to alertness that goes beyond simple energy provision.
For optimal neurotransmitter support, particularly the conversion of tyrosine to those vital alertness-promoting chemicals, it's often beneficial to pair your protein source with a small amount of complex carbohydrates. The carbohydrates can help facilitate the transport of amino acids like tyrosine into the brain. So that hard-boiled egg might go well with a small oatcake, or your handful of almonds could accompany a few slices of apple. This synergistic combination ensures that your brain gets both the building blocks and the energy it needs to utilize them effectively.
It's important to remember, just as with carbohydrates, that moderation is key, especially at night. A massive steak or a huge portion of chicken will likely sit heavily and cause digestive strain. Instead, focus on smaller, more frequent protein-rich snacks. A palm-sized portion of nuts, 1 or 2 eggs, or a small cup of edamame is often sufficient to provide the necessary amino acids without overburdening your system.
This strategic inclusion of protein ensures your brain has the essential components to keep firing on all cylinders, even when the rest of the world is asleep.
It might sound incredibly simple, perhaps almost too basic to warrant a whole chapter, but the importance of hydration for maintaining alertness and cognitive function cannot be overstated. Even mild dehydration, which can easily occur if you're engrossed in work and forget to drink, can lead to fatigue, difficulty concentrating, headaches, and a noticeable dip in mental performance.
Your brain is approximately 75% water, so it makes sense that its optimal functioning is highly dependent on maintaining adequate fluid levels. When you're pushing through the night, staying properly hydrated is a non-negotiable foundation for wakefulness.
Many people underestimate how easily they can become dehydrated, especially in air-conditioned or heated environments, or when consuming caffeinated beverages, which can have a mild diuretic effect if consumed in large quantities without adequate water intake alongside. The symptoms of mild dehydration, like that slight headache, a feeling of fogginess, or increased tiredness, are often mistakenly attributed to just being tired from working late. However, a simple glass of water could make a significant difference.
Therefore, making a conscious effort to sip water regularly throughout your late-night session is paramount. While plain water is always an excellent choice, you can make it more appealing and even add some subtle benefits. Infusing water with slices of lemon or cucumber not only adds a refreshing taste, making it more enjoyable to drink, but lemon can also provide a small boost of vitamin C and electrolytes.
Alternatively, consider water-rich fruits as part of your snacking strategy. Slices of melon, oranges, or berries not only contribute to your hydration, but also provide natural sugars for energy and valuable micronutrients. These can be a more engaging way to take in fluids if plain water feels monotonous.
Herbal teas, specifically non-caffeinated varieties like peppermint, ginger, or chamomile, though maybe save chamomile for when you're closer to wanting to wind down, can also be excellent hydration choices. Peppermint tea, for instance, can be quite invigorating and may even help with digestion, which can sometimes be sluggish at night. Ginger tea can be warming and soothing. The key is to ensure they are indeed caffeine-free, as you don't want to inadvertently overload on stimulants, particularly if you're already consuming matcha or green tea as discussed earlier. These warm beverages can also be quite comforting during a long night.
The crucial advice here is to sip regularly, rather than waiting until you feel thirsty. Thirst is actually an early sign that you're already on your way to dehydration. Keep a water bottle or a glass of water on your desk at all times as a visual reminder. Aim for small, frequent sips. This consistent intake helps maintain steady hydration levels, supporting everything from cellular function to neurotransmitter activity.
Making hydration a deliberate part of your midnight fuel plan is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to support your alertness and overall well-being.
Fats often get a bad reputation, but the truth is, healthy fats are absolutely essential for brain health and can play a strategic role in your midnight fueling strategy. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and these fats are crucial for building cell membranes, nerve insulation, those myelin sheaths, and overall brain structure and function.
Consuming the right kinds of fats can provide sustained energy, promote satiety, keeping you feeling full and satisfied, and support cognitive processes. When we talk about strategic fats for late-night work, we are definitely not talking about greasy takeaways or heavy fried foods. The types of fats we want to focus on are unsaturated fats, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, found in foods like avocados, nuts and nut butters, seeds and olive oil.
These fats are processed differently by the body compared to saturated or trans fats found in many processed or fried foods. Healthy fats are digested more slowly than carbohydrates, which means they provide a longer, more sustained release of energy. This can be incredibly beneficial for preventing energy crashes and maintaining focus over several hours. They also help to stabilize blood sugar levels when consumed as part of a balanced snack.
Consider the humble avocado. It's packed with monounsaturated fats, fiber, and a host of vitamins and minerals. Half an avocado, perhaps lightly seasoned or spread on a single whole grain cracker, can be a wonderfully satisfying and brain-boosting snack. Similarly, a tablespoon of almond butter or peanut butter. Just be sure to choose natural varieties without added sugar or hydrogenated oils. Paired with apple slices or a celery stick, offers a great combination of healthy fats, protein, and fiber. These options provide that slow-burn energy and help keep hunger at bay far more effectively than a sugary treat.
It's important to be mindful of portion sizes, as fats are calorie-dense. A little goes a long way, especially at night when, as we've discussed, your digestion is not at its peak. The goal is to provide your brain with quality building blocks and sustained fuel, not to overload your digestive system.
Simple snack combinations are often best. A small handful of walnuts, a few spoonfuls of full-fat Greek yogurt, if dairy agrees with you, with some berries, or even a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on a small portion of leftover roasted vegetables if you have them.
What you absolutely must avoid are those heavy, greasy, and fried foods. While they might offer a fleeting sense of satisfaction, they are incredibly difficult to digest, especially late at night. They can lead to indigestion, bloating, and a feeling of sluggishness, the exact opposite of what you need when trying to stay alert and productive. These types of foods divert a huge amount of energy to the digestive process, leaving less available for your brain.
So, choose your fats wisely. Opt for whole food sources of healthy fats in moderation to fuel your brain and keep you satisfied through the night.
So, as we've explored, staying awake healthily through the night isn't about launching an all-out assault on your biology with an endless barrage of stimulants. It's a far more nuanced and intelligent approach. It's about strategically supporting your brain and body with key nutrients. Tyrosine from protein-rich foods to build those vital alertness neurotransmitters. Low GI carbohydrates for a steady, reliable glucose supply to your brain. Healthy fats for satiety, brain structure, and sustained energy. And of course, constant hydration to keep every system functioning optimally. All of this must be done while respecting your body's naturally slowed nighttime digestion and, crucially, your future sleep needs.
It's incredibly important to remember that the strategies we've discussed tonight are designed for occasional necessary pushes. Those times when a deadline is unavoidable or an important project demands extra hours. They are not a blueprint for chronic night work or a sustained override of your natural sleep-wake cycle.
If your lifestyle or work regularly requires you to be active at night, that necessitates deeper, more comprehensive strategies, often best developed with professional guidance.
For now, prioritize recovery sleep in a completely dark, cool room after any late night. Use these foods as intelligent tools in your arsenal, not as a permanent permission slip to ignore your body's fundamental needs.
Your long-term health, both physical and mental, depends profoundly on respecting your circadian rhythm whenever possible.
Therefore, the next time the clock strikes midnight and your work is calling, remember what you've learned. Instead of reaching for the quick, damaging fixes, turn towards the matcha or green tea, the hard-boiled eggs, the handful of nuts, the small bowl of oatmeal, and always, always the water.
Fuel your body and brain smartly, allowing you to work effectively and efficiently. And in doing so, you'll also be taking crucial steps to protect your precious and incredibly important sleep-wake cycle for all the days and nights to come. Work well and rest well.